Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just so happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I'm happy and grateful for breath in my body. I'm happy and grateful that today I have another opportunity to right my wrongs. I'm happy and I'm grateful for you. I'm going to start with our self-confidence formula. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. The dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person that I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture. I know that through the theory of autosuggestion, that any desire I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek some expression through some practical means of obtaining the object or position I desire. I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim, and I will never stop trying until I develop sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. I realize that no wealth of position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. I will engage in no transaction that will not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces that I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve them. I will eliminate in me hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, cynicism by developing love for all humanity. For I know that a negative attitude towards others will never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I believe in them and in myself. You know what? I'll be honest with y'all. At this point, if you're speaking the self-confidence formula to yourself and you don't feel something different, your posture hasn't changed, something is wrong, okay? Because even by repetition, something should be different within you. If it's not, it's okay. Go back, start over, do it again, all right? But at least 30 minutes a day, speak life into yourself. It will change your perspective. But today, I want to come on and I just want to ask a question, okay? This has been on my mind since yesterday. And my question to you is, who has access to you and why? Okay. I was talking to a friend yesterday. We were talking. I was on my way to meet my dad. And earlier that day, I was kind of feeling, I don't know how I was feeling, but I wasn't feeling great. Okay. So, of course, like I tell y'all, when you get in that place, you do something that's going to make you feel good. You do something, you find those happy places and those safe places for you. So I went to take Jaden to get his hair cut. I was supposed to get mine colored, the whole gray thing and whatever. But as you can see, I didn't color it. I did cut it. I straightened it, got it cut, but didn't color it. But at that time, I went to Solomon and he was like, you know what? We're going to give you a spa day. So even though I was in the salon, we had a spa day. Jaden was getting his hair cut. He turned the steam on. He steamed my face. I was like, oh, my lips, they feel good. Y'all, they feel good today. They nice and moisturized. But he turned on the steam. He steamed my hair for me. Man, it was perfect. And I began to think about, as I was there, like, how did I get to this place? Because I told y'all, anytime, if you're doing the self-confidence formula, if you're speaking it to yourself, even minimally, if you're working on your self-reflection, your self-discipline, self-confidence, anything about yourself, Something should change. You should get uncomfortable when you're not in that great place. You should start getting uncomfortable when you don't feel peaceful. Okay. So I was laying there, steam going, and I'm just open my eyeballs, it's steam. So, you gotta keep your eyes closed. Jehovah God know a way to make you relax, even if you don't want to. My homegirl called me. I picked up the phone. She like, you're not supposed to pick up you so you relax. And I said, well, I picked up because it was you, But it's like in that space, I start thinking. And I'm like, how did I get here? What did I allow to come in to disrupt my peace and start to try to rob my joy? Okay. So I left there, got the hair done. Jaden got the little lines back in his head, whatever he wanted, going to see my dad. And I was talking. And as I was talking, it was like Jehovah God, Holy Spirit began to speak to me and ask me, who has access to you and why? So I looked up access, okay? Access is permission, liberty, or ability to enter, approach, or pass to and from a place, or to approach or communicate with a person or thing, all right? So who has access to you? And the people that we allow to get close to us, why do they have access? Think about it. Because you have to remember with access, so it's permission, all right? It's permission, liberty, or the ability to communicate or approach a person or thing. I took the other part out because we're talking about us, right? So even if someone has access to you, there should be a reason, there should be purpose, there should be, it's a reason why someone should be able to have access to you, because you're healthy, you're wealthy, you're prosperous, you're victorious, you're creative, you're all these great things, your greatness, okay? So who has access to you and why? I want you to think about everyone that's in your environment, everyone that has access to you, and ask yourself why. Okay? Why am I saying to do this? Because even right now, we are learning to be the best us. Okay? I'm learning to be the best me. That's why I'm doing the self-confidence formula. I'm learning to be the best me. That's why I'm learning how to be self-disciplined. I am focusing on myself. So in your process and in your time of becoming healthy, of becoming wealthy, of becoming prosperous, you have to know who has access to you and why they have the honor to have your access. You're not doing it out of arrogance and pride, but you're learning how to be unapologetically you in a posture of submission and humility. So you owe it to yourself to know who is around you and why. If there is no purpose, then ask yourself why, okay? What is honor? See, when you have access to something, you have to honor that access, okay? So what is honor? It's a showing of usually merited respect or recognition, all right? So the first thing you're asking yourself, who has access to me? Why do they have access to me? Do they honor me? Do they even realize that being in my presence is an honor and a privilege? Now, why am I saying this in confidence? Because I'm not saying it cocky. I'm not saying it arrogantly, and I'm not saying it proud. I am saying it because I understand that right now, I am intentional to be the best me. So I need nothing but the best around me. If I want to stay the best, if I want to stay toxic free, then everything around me has to be non-toxic and it has to be at its greatest. Okay? Greatest is the greatest of that individual. All right? It doesn't mean you have to be rich. Maybe that's not why you're in my circle. Because really, I'm not really looking for rich people. I am looking for wealthy people. because wealthy starts from within. And then the fruits of all of that, the overflow of all of that just goes into different areas of your life. Okay? You also need to know this, because when people have access to you, you got to know your self-value. You got to know your self-worth. You got to be confident in who and what you are. You got to know that you walk out purpose every day, because then you begin to understand and you're able to accept the recognition and the honor that comes with you. All right? You'll stop selling yourself short. You have to understand that access has to be in the right timing. You got to remember, everything that we're doing, we're trying to stay in the right timing of this journey. All right. I am intentional to try to stay on the heartbeat of Jehovah God. He is my lead. He's my God. Holy Spirit directs me. Okay. So as I'm walking this out, I am intentional to just try to be in the right rhythm, in the right place at the right time. All right. We have to be able to do this. We got to understand who and what's around us, because things, this journey is like seasons, all right? Seasons come and go in this journey. That's why you have mountaintop times, you got valley lows, sometimes where you're weathering storms, sometimes you're just happy and everything feels great, okay? But in these different seasons, who has access to you and why? That is something that you need to know. It is for you. It's not to discredit anyone, but it's for you. Because as long as you're trying to walk out growth, you got to have stuff around you and understand the seasons of growth. There's a time to plant. There's a time to fertilize, water, seed the stem, all of that. So in your growth process, you always need to know, and you got to be okay with asking yourself, okay? Just because you're my mom or my dad doesn't mean that you're supposed to be in a specific role, okay? You have access to me because that's my mom and dad, okay? There's a respect and an honor that I give to them because I have access to them as the role they play in my life. But that doesn't mean that they're my bank, all right? Because now at 48, that shouldn't be my first go-to. Not to say I don't go to them, because I do, and I need help. Sometimes everybody needs help, but they're not my first resource, all right? Because I understand the access I have to them, I honor it, and I won't abuse it, okay? This is why you got to know what's around you. You got to know the heart of people, all right? Because access requires honor, all right? You also need to know it's in the right timing, because sometimes if you have too much access, if someone has too much access to you and it's not in the right timing, they can get familiar with you. My mentor said this, okay? They can get familiar with you, and then when they get familiar, they can get content, all right? This is why you have to know who is in your life, why they're in your life, when they're in your life, and that it be in the right timing. But the only way that you as a person will really take the time to do that is you got to be doing this for yourself. You got to be building your confidence. You got to be changing your self-perception. You can't be sabotaging yourself. You got to become healthier. This is probably uncomfortable. When it hit me, it was uncomfortable, because I started looking at who's around me, and it's just some people who they just don't need to have access to me. Not because I'm so much better than them, but we're just not on the same page right now. So no disrespect to them, no love lost, none of that. They may feel the same way about me. But if we never take the time to put ourselves first, okay, we'll never take the time to really see who has access to us and do they deserve it? Period. Bottom line, end of discussion. Do you deserve for me to answer your call at 2:48 a.m.? Why? Who are you to me that I should pick the call up at 2:48 a.m.? Okay? So you got to know who has access to you and why, okay? You have to know your worth. This is a sign of you knowing your self-worth, okay? I have a whole husband at home, all right? I am not getting out of my bed to go tend to someone at 3 a.m. unless they have the proper access to me. Now, why do I say that? Because I've gotten out of my bed at 3 a.m. to assist someone because I knew that's what they needed, and I'm totally okay with it. But I cannot put myself in a position where I do that for just any and everybody. My husband gonna look at me with the crooked eye, okay? But because of my heart, I will want to do that. So this access, knowing who has access to you and why, this is a part of your growth. This is a part for you. This is about you getting to a place where you know your self-worth, where then you're not settling for just anything, but you're not so big-headed that you're just cocky and proud. These are processes that we need to go through to stay balanced, all right? Doing this will help you become and stay unapologetically you. Now, when I thought about it yesterday and I started thinking about people and I had to have conversations and whatever, was it uncomfortable? Yes. But this is why I said even the other day when we talked, this is why you got to know what your peace feels like to you. You have to be able to start making decisions where you are in that place of peace that may not, it'll surpass your understanding because you don't understand everything in it, but you know it's right. Then you can have these conversations, and believe it or not, the other person is able to receive it. Even if they don't walk out there receiving at that time, by faith, you have to know that it's received because you're not addressing these people in a malice or ugly way, okay? You have to begin to guard yourself, okay? You have to know everyone can't call you, all right? Everyone can't have access to you. Everyone can't walk with you right now where you are. And you got to be okay with it because you're not throwing anyone away. Just because you don't walk side by side to me, I'm going to treat you just the same. Okay? I'm not above anybody. But what I am understanding, I understand my 3, I understand my 12, and I understand 72 sent out 2 by 2. I understand some people will be right here, some people will be out here, some people will be over there. But at the end of it all, I understand that the positions and the roles move, they shift depending on what season I'm in. If you don't recognize that for yourself, you will carry baggage with you. And then you'll wonder why you feeling so tired, fatigued, why this is so long, why things are so heavy on you. Because you got too much baggage. And it's no one's fault but yours. Okay? So today, I want you to take the time to think about it. Think about the closest people to you right now. Think about who has access to you. Think about how long they have access and always know why. Even if you are walking in this peace and you're like, well, Nicole, I don't know why this person is here with me, but I know they're supposed to be. Okay, then that means you're at the peace that surpasses your understanding. But you still got to know why. That's a faith walk. Okay, there are people in my life that I don't know why they're there, but I know that they're supposed to be. I don't know the full purpose. I don't need to know. I just know that I walk in obedience. And then naturally, I tailor how much access they have to me. That's it. Okay? We got to be able to do this so that we can continue on with what we're doing for ourselves, being the best us, learning how to peel back our layers. We have to be able to do this because if you have the wrong people around you at the wrong time, there may be a peeling back that you're going through that only my sister, I could be going through something and maybe it's just my sister and my daughter that's supposed to see that part. Okay. But if I'm allowing other people in there, they're a part of something that they don't have to be a part of. And that's where that's where confusion starts to come in. Because someone may see something that you're going through and they don't know how to process it. They don't know how to have grace. They don't know in that situation. All right. So now we're doing this, not because we're trying to be messy, but because we don't understand what just happened. It's up to you to guard your heart. It's up to you to protect your environment. It's up to you to know what conversations you can have in these places, where what access is granted to you, and how you know they're in the right position. Access is always respected and honored. Okay? People around you and feel like they doing you a favor, you might need to have them fall back. All right? Because even if they're supposed to have access to you, maybe their heart ain't right. And you trying to keep yours pure. You're trying to keep yours clean and clear. You're trying to have a non-toxic mindset. This is why it's important for you to do this. So I want you to remember that you have to know who and why someone has access to you. Okay? You don't necessarily have to tell them. You need to know for you so that you can walk things out. You can walk out your self-confidence formula. You can walk out your self-discipline. You can continue to be the best you, because this is the reason why we're doing this. All we're doing is we're holding each other accountable to be able to peel our layers back of the things that's going to stop us from fulfilling our visions and our goals of what is already destined in our life through this journey. Okay? That's it. It is really that simple. It's that simple. But as my mentor said, the hard work is just the heart work. And this is part of the heart work. Okay? I know for me, it's hard because I'm realizing that my self-love isn't where I thought it was. This is hard for me because I'm like, access, even the word, when I felt it in my heart, the word access, like, I mean, anyone could talk to me. Anyone could this. Anyone could that. But that's not true. Yes, everyone can talk to me, but that doesn't mean everyone is supposed to be that close to me. All right? So you got to be able to get to the point where you love yourself enough, where you just want healthy things around you and that it be in the right season. Okay? So remember that you're healthy. Remember that you're wealthy. Remember that you're prosperous. Remember that everything that your hands touch, it must prosper and grow. And that you are so vibrant and you're so radiant and your light shines so bright that everything around you, it has to fall in line and fall in suit of that. All right? You got to remember that. Know that's who you are. Because as long as we're being unapologetic of who we are, in a posture of submission and humility, we're submitting and we're walking out humility, we can stand in authority and we can say that this is so. All right? I am Nicole D. Jones. Continue to have a fantabulous day, and I will meet you in 48 hours. Smooches.